Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something truly ancient and powerful, the Gayatri Sadhana. We'll be exploring the philosophy and the practical steps of this incredible discipline, which is all about building a deep, unshakable inner strength. So to really get why this practice is considered so important, the source material kicks things off with a pretty big question. It says that the greatest crisis of our time, well, it's probably not what you think. It's not war or famine or disease. Nope, it's something much closer to home, something inside each of us.
And the answer, according to these texts, is Astha Sankat, a crisis of faith. Now hold on, they're quick to clarify this isn't about belief in a god. It's actually a crisis in what we value. You know that feeling of modern burnout? That endless chase for more stuff, more status? That's what they're talking about. It's this widespread focus on ego and self-interest that, according to the source, is making us weaker from the inside out. So if the problem is this deep, internal one, it makes sense that the solution has to be just as deep. And that's exactly what the source proposes. Not some new technology or political idea, but an ancient spiritual practice designed specifically to counteract this erosion of our inner world, the Gayatri Sadhana.
Okay, so the very first step on this path is all about preparation. The texts are really clear on this. Before you can even begin the main practice, you have to prepare your body and your senses. You have to turn yourself into a worthy vessel for this powerful energy. The first ritual is pranayama, the art of controlling your breath, and it has 4 key stages. First up is purak, the inhale. As you breathe in, you imagine you're drawing in all the positive universal life force. Then comes antakumbhak, where you hold that breath and just feel that divine energy soaking into every single cell. After that is rishak, the exhale. This is where you visualize pushing out all the inner gunk, the negativity, the impurities, and finally, Baya kumbhak. You pause after the exhale and you picture yourself shutting a door, locking out all that negativity from coming back in. Next up is something called nyasaka. This is a beautiful ritual of consecrating your senses. It's really simple but profound. You touch different parts of your body and, in your mind, you awaken their highest potential. It's like a physical declaration of intent. You touch your mouth to dedicate your speech to truth, your nostrils for a vibrant life force, your eyes for seeing clearly, not just what's on the surface. You're basically waking up your entire being for the practice ahead. So, with the body and senses all prepped and ready to go, let's get to the core of it. What exactly is Gayatri, and what is it that makes this practice so incredibly powerful? The source defines Gayatri as Ritambara Pragya, which is a beautiful concept. It essentially means a consciousness that is just filled with divine, unshakable truth. Think of it as the subtle, wise energy inside you. Its outer physical form is Savitri, which is the radiant, life-giving energy of the sun. So the whole point of the sadhana is to draw that incredible external power inward to wake up our own inner sun, our own inner wisdom. There's this really powerful metaphor the source uses to explain the potential here. It says the wise have always considered Gayatri to be a kamadhenu, a mythical wish-fulfilling cow. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to get you a new car. It means it provides everything that is truly deeply nourishing for your soul's journey.
So what does that nourishment actually look like in real life? Well, the source says it leads to a complete spiritual rejuvenation. It helps clear out inner negativity, it boosts your wisdom, and it gives you what the texts call Atma Bal, a profound inner strength. And with that strength, you gain the ability to face literally any challenge with a sense of peace, and you start to inspire others to live more truthfully too.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But how do you actually start? Well, the great thing is, the source material lays out a really clear, practical guide for anyone who wants to begin this journey.
First things first, you've got to set the stage. The texts say to find a quiet, peaceful place where you won't be disturbed. You should sit with your spine straight on some kind of mat, not directly on the ground. The absolute best time to practice is Brahma Muhurta, which is that super tranquil time right before sunrise. And the core commitment? At least 1 mala, which is 108 repetitions of the mantra, every single day.
But look, the physical setup is really only half the story. The source is crystal clear that your internal mindset is what makes or breaks this practice. It's all about embracing deep faith over doubt, being persistent even when you feel discouraged, and staying consistent instead of practicing here and there. The texts basically warn that without this inner discipline, all the outer rituals in the world will only get you so far. And the practice doesn't just stop when you get up from your meditation mat. The source advises adopting what's called a sattvic, or pure lifestyle, to really support your efforts.
This means eating simple, fresh food and avoiding things that agitate your mind. But it also means purifying your actions, avoiding gossip, embracing simplicity, and being truthful in everything you do.
So, you put in all this work. Where does it all lead? What's the ultimate goal of the Gayatri Sadhana? Let's take a look.
Now, for anyone who might be a little hesitant to start, the source offers this really comforting assurance. This practice is never fruitless. There are no bad side effects, and you really shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes. It's described as being like showing respect to your mother. The act itself is always good and beneficial, no matter how perfectly you do it.
And that brings us to the ultimate promise. After you've practiced consistently and with real devotion, the texts claim something extraordinary happens. Your spiritual self is completely rejuvenated. We're talking a total inner transformation. It's like a rebirth of your spirit into a new state of strength, wisdom, and an unshakable sense of peace.
So there you have it. We've just walked through an ancient roadmap for tackling our modern crisis of faith. It's a path that takes you from outer ritual to inner transformation, and it all leads to this profound inner strength. The final question the source material really leaves us with is a simple one. Now that you know the path exists, what are you going to do with it?